Well, we decided to walk out because Mr. Bossano has provided the most extraordinary and shameful answer that I have ever heard given in a parliament. Here we have a company, Credit Finance Company Limited, that's received £344 million of government and savers' money. That we know this company has used 40 million nearly of that money to provide a loan to the Sunball, because we found out the day after the by-election. We know, for example, that money has also been provided to a housing estate for the renewal of the housing estate. We are being told that part of that money is also being provided to individuals and companies in order to allow those individuals and companies to pay off tax liabilities that those individuals may owe the government. It just blows a massive hole in the accountability of the government for what is effectively government money and savers' money. And in any event, all the monies of the Gibraltar Savings Bank are guaranteed by the government. So if this company, for example, were to go belly up, or some of these investments were to be bad investments in the future, the government is underwriting that. So it's a liability of the taxpayer at the end of the day. And for Mr. Bossano to refuse to answer the question of how that money is being invested and who is the beneficiary of loans is absolutely shameful. And I have to say this as well, that the Chief Minister should not hide behind Mr. Bossano, because this was a question, indeed all the other questions in the debentures were questions that were posed to the Chief Minister of Gibraltar as Minister for Finance, not Mr. Bossano. He shouldn't just simply pass the buck to Mr. Bossano, unless what is really happening here is that the Chief Minister doesn't know what is happening in his own government, and it's Mr. Bossano really that is the de facto Finance Minister, and he that knows the ins and outs of public finances in Gibraltar.
By taking the decision to walk out, you have forsaken all the questions that you didn't get a chance to put to the government. Is this not the opposition's duty to ask those questions?
No, failing to do our duty as an opposition would be to accept this shameful and extraordinary state of affairs of allowing a government minister not to answer and accept, not to provide us an answer of how that £344 million, part of which is savers' money, is being invested by this company, Credit Finance Company Limited. Well, it seems to me that the decision to invest in this company may well be ultra vires, and then to refuse to answer how that money is being used by this company, I mean, it's just absolutely appalling. And as I say, I have never come across a situation like this in the many years that I've been observing politics, and also in the many years that I've been a member of the House.
You will know that the government has proceeded on to bills without you in the chamber, and among those bills is the all-important Nature Protection Act.
Well, he could have adjourned it to this afternoon. He didn't have to sit partly over lunch in order to allow us the opportunity to debate that. That's the decision that he has taken. I said that our walkout would only last for question and answers, so he could have well adjourned that debate. If he chooses to carry on and to approve the amendments to the Nature Protection Act only with a government majority, without offering the people of Gibraltar an opportunity to debate what is an important issue, and the government's culpability in effectively getting us into the situation that we are now, in a deterioration in our relations with Spain and what we've seen over the last 18 months in British Gibraltar territorial waters. If he chooses not to debate that with me by going ahead with this debate, well, I can't do anything about it. I believe that the decision that we have taken to walk out in protest over the failure to answer what is a very, very important question look, I predict the single most important issue in politics over the next 2 years. Because if these investments that the government is making in this company goes belly up, it has huge repercussions for the taxpayer. It's $344 million, over a third of the size of the economy that's being invested in this company, and which the government does not want to tell us how that money is being invested.